you taking so long?
Obviously, they haven't decided if you can talk to Holly yet.
Maybe it's impossible for me to talk to her.
Don't even think that.
Look, this is all starting to bring me unglued, Cole. Now what?
I hope we're not interrupting you.
Well, I was expecting a rather important call.
Well, perhaps we could come back later.
Ruby, we are not leaving until you tell us what's happened to my brother.
Come in.
Then you do know what happened to him.
You have a pretty good idea.
Tell us.
You better sit down first.
Hi.
Hi.
It's quite likely that Luke is being held somewhere against his will.
Along with Holly and Celia.
To digress a little bit here, Celia and Holly were kidnapped from Delphina's the other day.
Kidnapped? Why?
Have you heard of Professor Gerald's Prometheus disc?
Robert, we're not concerned about a disc. We're worried about what's happened to my brother.
Okay. The two are interrelated. Now, Luke either has or had that disc.
You mean he stole it? Let's just say he borrowed it for a while.
Now, Luke intended to give the disc to me. There was a slight misunderstanding, and the spy that we'd captured managed to escape. Luke grabbed the disc and took off, thinking that he could free Holly and Celia with it.
We're assuming that the enemies have found Luke, have the disc, and are now holding all three as ransom for the microfilm.
That's what he meant.
What?
Right after the casino raid, Luke told me that he had something that you wanted. Now I know what it was.
The disc.
Does this have something to do with Dr. Putnam's disappearance?
Let's just stick to worrying about Luke and the others, all right?
Robert, what are you doing about finding them?
Connie and I are working on several angles.
You are going to give them the equation, aren't you?
That isn't up for us to decide, I'm afraid.
You mean you may not?
Listen, Bobbie. Now, my wife is being held captive, too. Now, I'm as concerned about her as you are for Luke. You're both going to have to trust me on this one.
What can we do? Well, for one thing, don't let anyone know what we've told you about this. But what about Jackie? I mean, that article in today's paper, she sounded so suspicious.
I'm going to have to impress upon Jackie that this is a government matter. If she runs around shooting off her mouth, then it's going to put everybody in danger.
Luke could be killed, couldn't he?
Nothing's going to happen to him. Now, you have my word on that.
Okay, good enough for me.
Look, I'll let you know if I find anything out.
Thank you. Goodbye, Robert.
Bye.
You know, I wish I could be as sure as you are that nothing's going to happen to Celia, Holly, and Luke.
I can't be sure anything already hasn't happened. What's the wretched thing ring? Connie.
Yeah. Got it.
Yes.
You will not be permitted to speak to your wife.
Then how am I supposed to know that she's alive?
You have my word.
That's not good enough.
I'm afraid it will have to be. Now, about the microfilm.
Yes, listen. I'm not going to cooperate until I get an answer to a question that I want you to ask my wife.
Very well. What is it?
The question is, what is Nanny's favorite blend of tea?
What is Nanny's favorite blend of tea?
Right.
I'll get back to you.
Too short again. Couldn't you have kept him on any longer?
I don't care about that now. All I care about is getting an answer to my question. And if I get the right answer, I'll know that Holly's alive.
How could I have been such a fool? All that time he was just using me. When he was holding me in his arms, making love to me.
Celia, you haven't done anything wrong. I knew he was involved in something illegal, but I had no idea it was anything like this, a conspirator against the United States. No one is going to accuse you of any wrongdoing. Holly, that's the last thing I'm worried about. I loved him. I was going to run away with him. Lucky you didn't. I would have followed him to the ends of the earth. I'll bet he's having a good laugh over that. Your feelings were genuine. If anyone should be ashamed, it's Grant. How could I be so blind, Holly? Celia, it's over. It's over. You mustn't blame yourself for what happened. Holly, I loved him. I can't bear the thought of him having just used me.
Celia, you have to be strong, all right? I need you to be strong.
Holly, I have been such a fool.
Celia, I need you, okay? We're going to have to stick together and be strong if we're all going to live through this.
You think they may have killed Luke, don't you?
No, they couldn't have.
Good afternoon, ladies.
Where's Luke?
We will ask the questions. What's Nanny's favorite blend of tea?
Why are you asking me that?
Your husband wants to know.
He wants proof that you're alive.
Well, let me talk to him then.
That's impossible, I'm afraid.
Then I won't answer your question.
Don't be a fool.
Why not? Just the two of us.
Answer the question. Very well, then. Until later.
There must be some way to send a message to Robert. Some clue in my answer about the tea.
That could be dangerous, Holly.
All those people will never know.
Maybe not. But if Robert doesn't understand the clue, he may not think they really have us.
You're right. If only I had more time to think.
Well then, have you changed your mind about cooperating?
You have one last chance. Will you answer the question?
All right. Nanny's favorite blend of tea is Darjeeling, Ceylon, and jasmine.
Excellent. Call him.
You're as wise as you're beautiful, Mrs. Scorpio.
I'm only doing it for Robert.
Scorpio.
Darjeeling, Ceylon, and jasmine.
All right, that's it. Now, 48 hours. Where do we deliver the microfilm?
We'll give you further instructions later.
Wait! What? Connie,
Too short again.
Well, at least I know Holly's alive.
That's a relief.
Yes. All I have to do now is figure out how to make the WSB part with the microfilm. Otherwise, she won't be alive for too long.